Well, obviously it depends on your risk appetite. So, but if your risk appetite is the same as Richard's one, so if you're looking for core returns.
I'm beginning to feel a bit more risky as the day goes on.
Okay. I would obviously, talking about Italy, suggest you to concentrate your investment, whether in the main cities. So I'd say Milan probably would be the first spot, and then Rome. But I would suggest also to look at different industries. So not only office and retail, but trying to look also at other industries. So hotel could be an interesting option, especially when talking about prime assets, prime locations, trophy assets, and also healthcare, as I was mentioning before.
Great. Wilson?
If I had 500 million, I will use DLA in a cross-border portfolio transaction. That's what I'll do. No, in Spain, I think, and it's true that 500 million is a lot. So if you want, if added to the Sothemis in the market, this maybe overhit the market. But I think that being aggressive, we invest in development. I think that, and the market is seeing that. We've seen in the last 6 months. 6 months ago, there were absolutely no new developments or land transactions, and we are seeing in the last 6 months a lot of new developments starting, and pure land transactions in the market. We are seeing land portfolios being purchased. We're seeing Lone Star investing in a new developer which is purchasing throughout Spain new lands. So I think that the big return and the investors are proving that is in development and in land now.
Okay, great. Manfredi?
I think I made my point on risk, and not necessarily core means less risky. No, so I appreciate that you're changing your investment strategy. Anyway, as far as Italy, I think the previous question from the gentleman over there was very good, in the sense that I think promising opportunistic return on core it's very risky. So to me, I would invest in good core assets with core return, which is not even the 13%, to be honest. I think it's below 10, now way below 10. So I would focus just on good location and good assets, and I would have a competitive source of capital. So I would not create illusion to any of us. I would definitely do value added and development, but within, as I said, an economy that is not growing. So, and because it's not growing, now you have to be very selective. So you have to pick the right theme, and partly I mentioned already, so I don't repeat what I said. The high yield, what is called high yield, for me is something that, as you now understand, coming from the real estate fundamentals, I don't understand. For me, the high yield is something that is just very risky. If within a non-growing environment. If it's a growing environment, obviously it's a completely different situation. Now, to me, buying something lost in the countryside and with a core attached, whatever, and then it become vacant, and once it became vacant, nobody wants it. Now, to me, this is a very, very high risk junk type of investment, which we don't do. Lastly, I think there are some preferred equity structure that could be intelligently designed to help portfolio to be repositioned. But again, you have to pick the right portfolio where there is value to be extracted. So these are more kind of joint venture with banks and so on. But again, on a bottom-up perspective.
Okay, great.
Well, having those 500 million, I'd be equally or more aggressive than Orson. I said, what I would do, first thing is I would set up a SOTHEMI to have a tax-efficient structure. I would leverage to get more, make those 500 million a bit more. And then I would look at the various segments, and a bit in line with what I said before. I think office market is very, very interesting. And I would go for good central, semi-central locations, maybe just off-center locations, value-added refurbishment with the potential of actually tearing down and rebuilding in the same spot. By the way, what I think is really should be the driver for those decisions is not yields, because we've seen that yields are somewhere completely out of bounds, and we've seen that rents have some potential. What I would look at is capital values. And if you look at the capital values, something that hasn't been shown today, but I think when you look at capital values, you can see that there's also a huge potential of recovery in the future. And that would actually also drive your decision saying, you know, I can demolish and build new, I will refurbish, but it will give you the chance of actually buying buildings with a new category, a new USP in good central locations. And I would give like a 60-70% on that. I would go into logistics and would do logistics developments, because I think it's good product, it's in high demand, it's quick, and it will give you some return very quickly. And I would probably give it another 20%, and then I don't know. Although hotels in Spain is major tourism destination, I'm not a fan of hotels, so I probably wouldn't do anything, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't. I mean, there's huge potential in that market. And in terms of retail, I think what I would try and find with the last percent that I've got remaining there is find either a shopping center, something that could be that is reversionary in yields, some regional shopping center, or aim for some portfolio deal where I can pick up a chain of shopping centers, supermarkets, whatever, so that I've got this segment covered, which would bring me out of the cities and across the country. And I guess nothing in Resi, as I said before.
Okay, great. And lastly, Francesco.
As a Roman, being born and raised in Rome, I would suggest to buy the Colosseum and fully refurbish it. But I don't know if they would allow me to do so. No, but without joking, I would invest in redevelopment, which doesn't mean starting from a greenfield, but maybe trying to buy some good ancient buildings in the centers of Milan, preferably, or Rome, and invest the money, which reminds to me in a refurbishment to a world-class property, which is what is really lacking on the Italian market, apart from certain exceptions.
Okay, great. I think this was wonderful. Thank you very much.